Hey, what is going on, guys? Ben here, and today I am super excited to be unboxing and reviewing the brand new iPhone XS Max. So without further ado, let's jump right on into it. I got this in 512 gigabytes in the brand new gold color. So this is going to be a very exciting unboxing. So without further ado, let's get right into the box. So now we peel off the wrapper. And let's lift the lid on this box. Alright, so the first thing we are greeted with is the packet full of manuals. So let's take that out. You can see you get a Hello Quick Start Guide, your SIM removal tool because this is an unlocked phone, warranty, and the famous Apple stickers. We put that off to the side, and here is the massive phone you can see in that gorgeous brand new gold color. You can see the gold band around the side of the phone and that creamy pinkish gold back. Looks absolutely beautiful. Let's set this over here and see what else we get in the box. So we have a regular 5-watt charging brick. No fast charging this year. And of course, we get our Apple headphones with no dongle. There is no more dongle this year. And lastly, we have the charging cable. But now let's put all that off to the side and take a closer look at this brand new, gorgeous iPhone XS Max. Now, jumping right on into the review, I first want to start off by talking about the design changes to this phone because there really aren't a lot. They introduced a new color with this phone. It is the gold color, which I have here. They still have the white and the black from last year. And then they also did a very minor change to the actual band of the phone. If you can see now, the bottom, the grills aren't exactly even because they made space for a new antenna slot so that this phone has improved connectivity. All the features of this brand new phone really come on the inside of it. This phone is much snappier than old models. Just tapping around using it, you can tell that they did quite a bit to the processor inside this phone to make this thing a beast of a device. They even improved Face ID, so that's a little bit faster than last year's models, although I didn't really notice a huge difference with it. Now, of course, the big thing with the XS Max is that it is much larger. I mean, this phone is absolutely ginormous. If you hold it up to something like the old phone, it completely dwarfs that old phone. Even something like the Galaxy Note 9, which is a massive phone, this thing is bigger than that. So using this for things like content consumption, scrolling through apps, I mean, it's just fantastic on a display of this magnitude. Now, most of the changes that occurred in this brand new iPhone XS were all involved in the camera of this phone. The camera on this phone has a huge spec bump compared to last year's model. And that makes sense because this was an S model phone, and usually the S releases improved things like camera or added a new feature, stuff like that. So in terms of camera improvements, Apple updated the color profile of this phone to make things look sharper, more vivid, more colorful. They increased saturation, and overall just makes photos a lot more brighter and fun to look at. Now, internally, they also improved the image signaling processor, or ISP, of this phone, and they actually coupled it with the A12 Bionic chip within it, so that now this phone is incredibly powerful. I think they touted in their keynote that this thing does over 1 trillion operations per second when computing a photo. So all of these enhancements, when brought together, allow the camera to do some incredible things. For example, this camera features a new Smart HDR mode that takes a ton of photos, more than just 3, in consecutive order, and pulls the best features out of all of them to get incredible dynamic range. You can see some of these low light shots. You can clearly see like a pink flower, and the changes in the sky in the background. It's not just completely overblown. It's actually quite incredible. Now, they've also improved the portrait mode of this phone using this new image signaling processor. So now when you take a portrait photo, it's better able to isolate the actual subject and to not create all those little jagged edges from last year's model. And you can now do something that you couldn't do before, which is adjust the depth effect. So now when you take a photo, you can go back into settings afterwards and actually bring this thing all the way down to equivalent of an f1.4, which creates these incredible, beautiful, creamy background blurs, and they look absolutely fantastic. It's almost like it's coming out of a real camera. Now, on paper, it didn't seem like Apple changed much, but when you look at this product as a whole, it is actually a really well-refined phone and a definite worthy upgrade from its previous predecessor. Now, if you have an iPhone X like I do not go upgrading. It's not really worth it, even for things like the larger screen. Wait till next year's model. But if you're in the market for a new iPhone, this is definitely a worthy upgrade. although they've increased pricing this year way beyond what some people can manage. So spending something like what I did on this phone for $1,500 is absolutely ridiculous. I do not recommend getting that. And if you want something more in the budget range, I would suggest waiting a month for the iPhone XR, because that phone is going to look pretty impressive. I definitely will be taking a look at that. But anyway, that's been it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button. Also, comment down below letting me know what you thought. Also, make sure to subscribe, as I have a lot more videos coming out in the future, such as that 10R video. Also, if you haven't caught my new video on the brand new Apple Watch Series 4, make sure to go check that out up in the eye in the corner. Anyway, that's been it. Thanks, subscribe, and peace out.